Well, day 2 of the first ever World Series finals, and Peter Wright, the first man through to the semi-finals tonight. Very much looks like Phil Taylor will be joining him and playing him in our first semi-final later. 67, that's all, 67 darts later, 112 average, 3 180s, nearly 60% on the doubles, 5-0, and just too good.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, 2 13s, 14, 15 and 12, not given Stephen Bunting much of a chance. But the one chance he did have when he left the double after 9, and then had 3 darts at double and missed. And that's really been the story so far for Stephen Bunting. That would have given him certainly something to feed on.
93.
But when you're 3-0 down, the doubles are harder to hit. That's the bottom line.
Well, he didn't have the best of World Series, playing in all 5 events, of course, from Dubai to Japan, Australia and New Zealand. That's better, as he hits a 3rd. That's 6 in all in the match, by the way. Got knocked out in the last 16 on a couple of occasions, and in the quarter-finals as well, falling at the first hurdles. Just a disappointing World Series all round for the man from St Helens.
Well, his thought process at the moment, he's got to be thinking, I need to get this first leg on the board just to calm myself down. And he's given himself a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Well, he left himself double after 9 in a previous leg in that first session. Now he's got a chance of a 9. Taylor had 1 and missed it. Can Bunting do it, Stuart?
Well, he missed double 12 for a 9-darter in the European Championship against Taylor last year. Well, just like Taylor, 6 perfect darts, but couldn't take the next step.
95.
It's all about winning the leg, getting a leg on the board, and great response after the break from Bunting. Fair play.
Well, that's gone now. But he's got to
100.
take the leg. That's the most important thing. It really is. He'll feel a whole lot better if he can take this double out. And that double is the green one. And he'll feel a lot better now he's got that leg on the board, because let's look at it statistically. He's averaging 100. He's playing pretty well. But the longer you go without winning a leg, it really does get to you. And it was against a throw, so a good chance now to get himself well and truly into the match.
44.
Well, here's one, talking about 9-darters. We know Phil Taylor's hit many, many 9-darters on TV and on the big stages, 11, but our regular statsman, Richard Ashdown, who's with us here in Glasgow, telling us that Taylor has never had a TV 9-darter hit against him. Bunting came the closest, didn't he, with that effort last year in Germany at the European Championship.
60.
He's full of weird and wonderful stats. No wonder he keeps his anorak on at all times.
He's certainly full of something.
Yeah,
all part of the team here in Glasgow. Wonderful arena. Fantastic session of darts here in the afternoon, culminating in the semi-finals and final this evening. The first ever World Series finals going down a treat
100.
in Glasgow.
Back in business.
140.
Taylor's average has dropped, only 110 now. it's the old adage, a break's only a break if you hold in the next leg, and Taylor looks like heading straight back, doesn't he?
Double 17 for double 8. He doesn't need the ball. He'll play the percentages.
95.
Big 18, come back to the board. 3 darts at the double. Doesn't have to worry about things like that now. Certainly in command in this match. But a good response from Bunting, to be fair. But it's got to be over a longer
96.
period. Not just over 1 or 1.5 legs. That's the difference.
6-1. And Phil Taylor is cruising into the semi-finals here in Glasgow.
Yeah, all looking good for the Power. Feeling comfortable, playing well. Always going to be a dangerous opponent. Let's not forget about that. Forget about the
16.
no title syndrome.
It's a blank canvas for Taylor now in darting terms. It's all about writing the next chapter, and that's what it's about.
How many times has he been written off in his career?
44.
And then come back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
I know it's different times now and there's so many good players around.
And he relishes that, doesn't he? Loves proving the doubters wrong.
But it's not as if he's playing bad. I mean,
No.
we looked at the averages, his recent losses on TV,
95.
the last 5 or maybe 6, he's still averaging well over 100. It's just that every other player now has raised the bar. There's so many contenders in tournaments now,
140.
which is great for the game globally. And all these youngsters coming through, Stuart, as well. We've seen a few of them this weekend. I'm sure we'll see a lot more of some of those
125.
players.
Well, of course, next weekend,
80.
mouth-watering prospect of Phil Taylor against Gary Anderson in the first round of the Players' Championship Finals next Friday night in Minehead. Make a day. Best of 11.
100.
Yeah, sometimes the players don't like it too much, although they're used to it, the first to 6. But it is good for the fans because it's short and sweet, fast and furious more often than not.
58.
If people are wondering why Taylor and Anderson are playing in the first round, the Players' Championship is based on the order of merit played on the Pro Tour. Anderson seeded 12, Taylor seeded 21, and Double A gives him a 1-21, and it's 7-1.
Yeah, no problem at all for Taylor, looking comfortable, calm, cool, collective, playing well.
96.
It's difficult to see, as we've seen so often yesterday, the game changing into his favour. We're asking him to produce his best ever darts this year when he's not quite got there over a longer period. He's done it in short spurts. We've seen it already, had a chance of a 9, leg 4, you know, could have had a 10 dart leg. But when you're playing
44.
players at the top of the game like Taylor, Van Gerwen, Anderson even, Lewis on occasions, you've got to do it leg by leg.
Well, difficult mentally as well, which is why I'm impressed with the way Bunting has come back in this little session, because mentally at 5-0 down, he must have known that the game was already up, and it would have taken an extraordinary performance and an extraordinary collapse from Taylor for him to win it, but he's kept going.
96.
Just to hold his throne would be a positive. The one leg he has won was on the Taylor throw in leg 6.
Staying upstairs,
100.
leaves himself 161. Looking forward to Christmas. That's not far around the corner. Well, staying on the 19s, 5 19s would leave the 170. If he can hit. Oh, he's going back upstairs. Oh, got a good second dart there from Bunting.
137.
So the reason he started on the 19s,
161.
just gave himself a few more options.
James Wade took out 161 in his match with Peter Wright. It didn't matter, he was beaten 10-6
64.
right into the
Stephen
semi-finals, and
O'Connell,
it very much
128.
looks like Peter Wright will be playing Phil Taylor.
Yeah, a lot of darts doubled at the double missed by James Wade. Ball! And ball for Bunting!
Stephen Bunting.
Well, he's had
From the third class.
disastrous start to the match, going into the first break 5-0. Has responded in this second half, almost on a 9. Fantastic ball finish.
96.
Love to see the ball finishes.
140.
Playing with a bit of freedom as well now. No pressure on Bunting, he's a long way off and just settling in and just playing some lovely darts too.
He's still wanting to perform.
93.
He's doing good in the long run. It's easy to say, we're not writing him off in the match, but it's just going to be so difficult for him to come back from this deficit.
140.
That's all he'll be thinking. Just take it leg by leg. See what I can take out of the game. And then you never know.
140.
140 here from Bunting would leave him handily placed.
That could be costly, that second dart there, because
85.
the virtue of that 5 means he's got to hit 2 trebles. If he'd have hit a single, would have been a better option. Well, this isn't a bad option for Taylor.
140.
Leaves himself double 16.
136.
So Bunting's taken out 128 in the previous one. A little bit higher this one. 2 treble 20s. Not quite. So Taylor returns
96.
for 8-2.
32. Being shown the 10.
Well, very impressive, isn't it? Nearly 60% on the doubles for Phil Taylor and 2 legs away from the semi-finals. It looks like he means business here in Glasgow. Leads Stephen Bunting 8-2.